Welcome back. This is the 31st segment in our series, Because It's True, making the case for Christianity in bite-sized pieces. Now, I strongly suspect that you are well aware that for both friends and enemies of Christianity, there is the understanding that the cornerstone of the faith is the resurrection of Jesus. In fact, someone no less than the Apostle Paul made his entire case based upon the resurrection. So, did he or didn't he rise from the dead? If he did, then it is the most sensational, to say the least, event in all of history, and our most fundamental and crucial questions have answers. And if he didn't, then the entire thing is a fraud. So, did he or did he not rise from the dead? That question has at its crux the question, what happened to the body? Because if he did rise from the dead, we know what happened from the body. But if he didn't, well, there have been 6 major alternative arguments as to what happened to the body, 2 of which we want to look at in this segment. The first being the fraud theory, and that is the idea that the disciples stole the body and then lied about the resurrection. Now, this was the first counter-argument ever circulated. It's so early, in fact, that if you look at Matthew 28 in verses 11 through 15, you'll find the account of the chief priests and the elders paying the soldiers to say that, in fact, the disciples stole the body while they were asleep. Now, this is so obviously false that Matthew doesn't even try to refute it. I mean, what court of law is going to believe that you had your widescreen TV stolen by so-and-so while you were asleep? I mean, how do you know who stole your TV? You were asleep. Besides the fact that, listen, the Roman guards were charged with guarding the tomb under pain of death. Number 2, the disciples would not have stolen the body of someone that they thought to be a failed Messiah. Number 3, each disciple faced torture and death for maintaining the position and teaching the position that Jesus was raised from the dead. 10 of the remaining disciples, you'll remember that Judas had committed suicide, and John was the only one who was not put to death. 10 of these disciples were tortured and died because of that proclamation. Now, you're going to tell me that 10 men died for what, every one of them, for what they knew to be a lie? They could have proven their innocence by simply producing the body? It's simply not plausible. People will die for something that they believe to be true, even if it's false. But people do not allow themselves to die for that which they know is false. So this theory is not only historically thin, it doesn't even account for all of the data. Now, the second theory I refer to as the larcenous authorities theory. And that is that the authorities themselves, be they Jewish or Roman or a cooperative effort of the two, they removed the body. But why would they? I mean, the fact of the matter is that having put guards at the tomb, what would their reason be? And when the Christian movement is going full steam, fueled by the notion of the resurrection, why would they not have put a screeching halt to the movement by simply producing the body? Neither of these theories can stand. They don't have the legs for it. But what about the other four theories that are out there? Well, we'll look at those starting in the next segment.